everybody. Happy Sunday night. Hello, Facebook. Hello, YouTube. Glad to be here yet another night for Cipher Knowledge with Chrissy. Don't mind me. It was a long weekend and I'm trying to just get into all of it right now. So before I introduce you to our guest tonight, I am going to do what I always do at the start of the show. Remember to follow me on Instagram and Facebook at Chrissy.Cipher, so that you can receive all the up-to-date content on the show, know who's coming on, what's going on, the Cipher thought of the day, all that fun stuff on the page. Also, make sure you go over to YouTube and subscribe, hit the button, share with your friends. 2M1L Media. On this YouTube channel, you will find 3 amazing shows. You will find Spitting with Spitter, who comes on Wednesdays at noon around the turnbuckle. That comes on Saturdays and Sundays at 6 p.m. And then you have your girl Chrissy with Ciphered Knowledge at 8 p.m. on Sundays. So with all of that out of the way, let me introduce to you our guest of this evening, David Litsinger. He is the NPC first place winner in classic physique and welterweight bodybuilding. Hey, Dave, how you doing?
What's up, Chrissy? How you doing? How's everything?
I'm good. Thank you so much for being on the show tonight. Why don't you just give us a little quick rundown of kind of who you are, what area you're in, and kind of what you're doing these days?
Well, my name's Dave. I'm born and raised in Easton, Pennsylvania. Oh, I was born in Phillipsburg, so kind of like a Jersey kid, but not really. So I lived in Easton, but I'm from the area. I'm a personal trainer at Max Fitness. I'm the fitness director there at Bethlehem Max Fitness. So my whole life's surrounded by fitness and training, and my life is bodybuilding. It's really what it is. It's all about that and everything. So, but just your average guy just trying to reach his goal that he wants to achieve, his dream.
So David is very humble, as you can tell. He is an amazing individual. I will give you a little content on how I know him. So I personally know David. Hey, Alan, good evening. I personally know David. He is a personal trainer as well as a bodybuilder, and I can tell you that he kicks ass. He absolutely kicks ass. When he's done with me, when he's after, hey Anna, when he is done with me, I have to tell you, I don't think I've ever sweat more than when I sweat with David. A few choice cuss words come out of my mouth.
And I laugh every single time they come out.
Absolutely. Let me tell you, he does not care. He still pushes me and he still keeps me going. So he's very humbled, but he is an amazing trainer. So please continue to watch the show and see what his work ethic is about and everything. And if you are interested in looking for a personal trainer in the Warren County, Easton area of Pennsylvania, we will be sharing his IG account with you right now, which is trainer_Dave15. You can find him there. Go follow him. You can always DM him and ask him about his personal training, any bodybuilding and stuff like that. But I do want to go ahead and go into the show and ask you my first question. I usually, this is the 3rd episode in, but I want to ask everybody that comes on and with their specialty, what inspired you to become a bodybuilder and personal trainer?
Well, I don't know if there's anything really inspired me to do it. I mean, my first, I told in the past, people know about me, is I was a relatively kid. I had a Filipino mother. I had a father who was Dutch, English, and German and stuff like that. So I had the best of both worlds as food. It was always there and everything. So I was a heavier kid. Even at age around 12, 13, before I even hit high school, I was bouncing between 190, 200 pounds. I never want to say I was the fat kid, the heavy kid, because I held my weight pretty well. It's one of those things where I just didn't. I was uncomfortable with it, but I didn't really show. You wouldn't look at me and be like, "Hey, there's there's the big boy and this and that and stuff. You know, I would never really like that. You know, as I started doing my own thing, and my dad even actually forgot he put a punching bag in my my room one time. Like he did this like little device thing, hang up on the wall, put it down, things like that. So I just did my own thing at home. I did push-ups, I did things like that stuff. So I really started my fitness journey, honestly. You know, it's the fact that once I got out of high school, you know, my dad always wanted to push me into the gym, get, you know, do more just for not really get to what I'm doing now, but the fact that just something constructive to do. He pushed me in there. I got in there, and like I said before, I've had I was very lucky to have some of the guys I've met there, as far as the older gentlemen there, because the fact that they've really kind of guided me towards there and everything. Because from, like I said before, I used to be as heavy as 200 pounds as a kid. I got there between like 135. I should have found some pictures. I didn't even think about that. But I got down as low up into you know, end of high school, about 135, 140 and stuff. And really, you know, you have your different times of your life. You have this version of yourself, like I want to do this and do this and do that and stuff. Like I want to look like this. And, you know, bodybuilding wasn't inspired until later on into my fitness, like background and stuff, as far as like becoming a trainer then and stuff like that. When I started going to that gym, the owner there himself, like, if you get certified as a trainer, like, I'll hire you. I think he saw more of my personality than anything else, because even as a young kid, I was a shy kid. I'm not gonna lie, I was a shyer kid like that and stuff. And I wasn't like how I was now and talking to everybody in the gym, you know, because that's my job is. Being a trainer, you got to be talking to everybody, you know. And I wasn't like that. And once he saw that in me, you know, and I do thank him for that. You know, he's the one that really pushed me to personal training first off, and so it just really started with that.
So it's another individual kind of curved you into it and everything. We have Mel, who says,
"Hi, Mel."
And we got Stephanie. He says, he definitely kicks my ass during those Sunday boot camps.
Hi, Stephanie.
Girl, you are not lying. And I will tell you that on this past Sunday, not today, last Sunday, when we couldn't do boot camp, and I attempted to do it by myself, I was like, yeah, this shit ain't happening. Like, I'm telling you, the motivation that I think it's just your sole presence, to be completely honest. Just being there, like, makes me want to do it. It makes me want to do more. Like,
definitely.
okay,
it's accountability.
Yeah, it's definitely accountability. So trust me, I appreciate that.
Of course, and I appreciate you guys coming every Sunday to the camp, because, you know, it shows me that you guys really care about yourself. Not for me first, but really for yourself, is what you want to achieve as far as your goals and stuff.
And I gotta tell you, this is how dedicated David is. Those boot camps on Sunday mornings, he's been providing them free since COVID. Okay, so he is taking his time because this is what he believes in. And this is what he feels that his love and his dedication is and everything's into. So, you know, I give that to you, man, because, you know, that's your time. And then you go off to work right after that. Like, you know, absolutely. So Mel says you're still doing them. Dang, I thought you were done with quarantine lifted. No, where are you, Mel? Where are you? I have not seen you. Do not let me get in your ass.
No, I am still there, Mel. I am still doing them. So you better show up this Sunday now, since you said that.
That's right. She said, I'll be back. I'm looking for you Sunday. Make sure you come. Anybody who's interested in that, you can DM me as well, and I can provide you information. It is boot camps on Sundays via Zoom. I'm not sure if there is a limitation, because it is, you know, it is
like 100 people I can have on a total.
So absolutely, I will put that information up on my page, and you guys can contact me and, you know, see if you want to come join one Sunday. It's usually 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it runs for about 45 minutes, depending on how much us ladies talk in the morning. There's always a lady and one. There's always ladies and one gentleman who joins, but definitely, please get in my. Yes, I will, girl. Accountability. I will be all up in it. So my next question for you is, what kind of dedication does it take to become a bodybuilder? Like, can you just wake up one morning and be like, I'm going to be a bodybuilder. I'm going to be a bodybuilder and train for a bodybuilder 4 days out of the week, and 3 days out of the week, I'm just going to be me. I'm just going to be Chrissy.
It takes a lot. I'll tell you what. And people are like, well, I'm sure it takes a lot, but it takes a lot, you know. So going back to starting at that gym where I started training, that my fitness director, who was my boss at that time, asked me about it. You know, he saw my progress as far as like just, you know, lifting and just doing this and doing that stuff. And at that time, I didn't have any structure to my workouts. I'm not gonna lie. You know, I had structure to like get myself in better shape, and not like bodybuilding. But he saw my work ethic as far as like how I wanted to get to a certain point, and he just asked me one day. He's like, "You want to, you know, try bodybuilding and stuff like that?" And I was like, "Why did you never do any shows?" I was like, "Honestly, I just never thought about it. It wasn't something that slipped my mind. I mean, I seen, you know, I looked into magazines. I saw on, you know, the internet, things like that stuff. And I was like, yo, I'd like to be that big, but I never knew what it took to do even a fraction of what they do. And so he guided me, you know, and he, again, it's one of those things. He guided me through the whole thing, you know, like, you know, a lot of times you got to pay for those coaches, and they're not cheap. You know, that's one thing about the whole dedication to do what you're doing as far as your shows, go down to the food, to the peak week and stuff. You know, all the things you got to pay for, the tanning. You know, there's so many. I can go forever.
Peak week.
Yeah.
What the hell is that?
We'll get to that. But there's so much involved and stuff with anything with that and stuff, you know. So my thing is like, you know, you really got to be focused. It's really a thing where you're trying to alter your body to a point where you have to get it in your mind. You know, you want to be perfect. You want to be on point and stuff there. You know, and in my mind, there's no such thing as a perfect body, but you want to chase that. You want to try to perfect it in your own head better than what you know people's perspective is. But like I said, just even the food, you know, the food, and people say it's not just the amount of food you got to eat. You know, regardless what you're on, they say in off season, I'm eating a lot of food. You know, like my day, half my day is food. You know,
yeah.
and you gotta look into it.
Yeah, we're gonna get into the whole food thing, but like, what is that mindset? Do you have to be on bodybuilding mode 7 days a week? Is there a day off, or especially when you're training for a competition?
Well, I'll say first off season, even off season, you gotta remember that's where you make your imperfections better. That's where you have to, like, you know what? In this show, the judges told me I need a wider back, or I need this and that and stuff. So, for instance, I told when I went to the Nationals in 2017 in Miami, I placed sixth, which was my first ever national show. And I'll tell you what, being sixth and being second call outs, I was hyped. You know, as one of the best things as far as like what I did and stuff like that. So the one judge told me, it was the head judge, told me, you need a wider back. And in my head, I'm like, my back looked pretty good. Like I had a wide back, but you know, I mean, those judges got to critique it. They got to tell you what to do if you want to become a pro and things like that and stuff. You really got pushed. So that season was killing my back. I mean, I'm telling you, I went anywhere between 200 to 300 pull-ups every day. You know, like maybe like 5 times a day. My coach at that time was telling me, you got to push it, just push it, stuff like that. And I'll tell you what, that and plus push-ups, he want upper body go. And I'll tell you what, that really, you know, there's a lot of dedication to what you have to prepare for, like that. You know, and then not just let's say for that instance, just that. You have to make sure everything is proportions. You got to make sure you're working the legs hard. You got to make sure you're working everything. Like those mirrors in the gym, people use it, you know, to kind of take pictures and kind of like this and that and stuff, you know, take selfies and Instagrams. I'm using them because the fact that I need to look into them like, oh, that don't look right. I need bigger shoulders. I need this or I need that stuff. So you're critiquing yourself a lot. You know, you look at everything yourself. In a sense, bodybuilding is 24/7 because how I was always told one thing is if you're not doing it, somebody else is doing it, and they're getting ahead of you. You know, and that's what you have to look at and stuff. You know, those, like I said, I was very happy with that 6th place in that show because it was a big national.
It's a place. Huh? I said you placed, period. Like, right?
Yeah, I placed, period and stuff. You know, I'm not gonna lie, like you always want to think positive at the same time. Like, you know, I'm surrounded by these bodies and stuff like that and everything. I'm like, yo, I was like yeah, I look at myself. I'm like, you know, it's in a sense like every show I've ever done, even like till now, I'm like, I need to, you know, I think I double think myself, you know, think of that stuff.
And I think that's part of the whole competing thing, right? Like when you're just training to train and be fit and healthy, you're like, you have your imperfections, you're like, okay, I'll work on that. It's not a big deal. Mm-hmm. But when you're working on that to compete, you are going to look at your imperfections more than you are your perfections, right? And Mel says, I remember when you had little arms and shoulders, you definitely did your thing.
I definitely did. Thank you for noticing. Now I did have some tiny arms, but
And Mel, I'll get you the info.
awesome.
So was there any point, like when you were training for your competitions, was there any point that you were like, you know what, I can't do this no more. I'm giving up. I'm not. And if not, what kept you going?
Let myself down. I mean, honestly, I mean, there have been times. Definitely have been times as far as like, fuck, dude, this is hard, you know, and a lot of it comes to the fact that, like, you know, that I don't think I was pushing myself hard enough. I was doing this, I'm doing that stuff, you know, and like, you know, everybody knows I'm not a big cardio fan. You know, everybody, if you know me from that.
Me neither. That's why I love when you work me out. It's not too much cardio. We good.
So, you know, everybody entitles to, as far as like what is done, as far as like, you know, there's a basis, you know, you lift the heavy weights. When you go into prep for a show, there's cardio has to be done, but everybody's body's a little different. Some need less, some need more. Unfortunately for myself, I'm one person that needs a little more cardio as far as like that. So for me, like, for instance, like the cardio, that kills me. My brain, not so much the physical, it's the mental thing. Like, I know in the morning I have to get up, I have to do the 45 minutes to an hour, depending where I am in my prep, you know, and it's rough because when you get to that point during more weeks go down from prep, the, you know, I want to say less food, but the less certain things you're getting, like carbs. Carbs are less and things like that stuff is killer.
So we have a question. How do you know when you have build your body to its ultimate?
I don't know, like, as far as like what I'm doing right now, if for a specific show, you kind of know where you're at, stuff like that. No, because there's different weight classes. You know, obviously I've been welterweight for bodybuilding. I do class physique A, which is my class for my height and my weight for class physique. The thing about me, and this goes for every bodybuilder, and you know, I speak for myself, but I speak for many of them out there, is there's no such thing as you being satisfied with this. You know, even I look at the Olympia winners, stuff like that. You know, if somebody like Phil Heath, who was 7-time Mr. Olympia, trying to go for his 8th this year, you know, he's not satisfied. He wants more. He wants to keep going, stuff like that. And he himself has said himself, I want to make it perfect it. I want to pull it. He lost 2 years ago because of some complications as far as like with his midsection and stuff. You know, at that point, you know, he could have been a person and be like, you know what, this is what I want 7. I tied, you know, this Arnold Schwarzenegger in that and everything, but he wants more. And that's the thing. I don't know if I ever know if I'm gonna reach my ultimate and stuff. Even if I, you know, somehow if I ever get to that point where I step on that type of stage like that and stuff, I don't know if there is a ultimate. I mean, the ultimate is that show. That is the biggest show in the world of bodybuilding, but I don't know, as far as in my brain, I don't know if there is an ultimate. I don't know.
So what's like the lowest percentage of body fat you can have? Safely.
Now, me personally, the lowest I ever been to was 3%. I was down to 3%, but it's not sustainable. You know what I mean? So, like, because your body fat is part of how you, your body functions, your brain, your organs, everything. You know, and so for me to get down to that low stuff, and you know, there's people telling me that it's harsh on the body, and it is, it definitely is, and 100%. What we say, there's safe ways to get to that point and stuff like that, but in the end, it's still dangerous for us to do what we do and things like that and stuff. I lost track of what your question was actually.
What's the lowest body percent weight you can be at safely? So, like, because I mean, 10% is my goal, but I'm never fucking getting there. Like, I'm realistic. I think my body percent right now, my body fat percent is like 23.
Okay.
But there's nowhere, like, I need to be way better than that. I definitely need to be way better than that. We have some questions. We got, do you cut weight? And if yes, how?
I do cut weight. Like right now, I'm in the process of gaining weight and stuff like that. So right now, I'm sitting at like 192, 192 to 195. I was at one point a couple weeks ago at 199, 200 and stuff like that and stuff. So I kind of trickled down myself a little bit because I had to catch myself. But yes, I do cut weight. I have to. When I did my last show for welterweight, I had to weigh at 160, I believe 168 and 3/4 or something like that. I started out at like bless you.
Thank
I
you.
I started out at like 185, 186. And so I definitely am cutting weight. I'm definitely dropping. But you gotta remember too, a lot of that weight is towards the end of my prep, because last week, which you asked before, what is peak week? Peak week is where I am trying to bring my body to its best. I need to get all the water out of my body. So you see every stridation, every muscle, everything that you see on stage. I need to do that point. So a lot of my weight comes off during that week and stuff, and I can lose anywhere between 6-8 pounds in that week by itself, depending.
So before we get into how that's done, I'm going to go to a comment real quick, and then I want to ask you about your diet. So Ben says, got to meet up so we can set my weight loss journey. I'm not happy with myself. So
is that
yep.
Benny?
Yeah.
Oh, Benny, what's up, brother? How you doing? I used to work with him at Giant and stuff. It took me a second. I saw the last name. What's up, Benny? How you been, brother?
Yeah, so he'll get in contact with you. We got to make things happen. Everybody's making things happen, right? We got to make 2021 be the year because 2020 was shit, man.
Oh,
but what does your diet look like when you're training, right? Like, so I know that I need to be in a deficit because I want to lose weight. And then after I lose weight, I can tone and build back up. But what does a diet look like for David during his training?
During training, as far as like my off season or my on season first?
Well, give me both. What does the off look like, and what does on look like?
Well, definitely off season, I'm definitely eating at a surplus. A surplus because of the fact that I want to get bigger. Obviously, any bodybuilders out there and stuff. I mean, I want to move to the next weight class. I want to keep moving up. So it's definitely a surplus. Right now, I'm intaking anywhere between, I want to say, 5,000 to 5,500 calories a day and stuff like that and stuff. And the believe it or not, but believe it or not, though, that sounds kind of like on the lower end, depending on who you are and where you're at and stuff.
Low end.
Like I said, I'm 5'4". I'm 5'4", 5'5", give or take, and stuff like that. And I'm weighing in, like I said, about like 192, 195 right now and stuff. And like I said before, like back in the day when I was younger, I was about the same height. I grew like 5'4" up to 6th grade. I never grew up any higher than that. But I was about 200 pounds around there. And definitely what I do now, because I'm close to that weight again, is definitely a different scenario now, because what I'm eating it's a lot of proteins. It is a lot of carbs and certain foods. It's a lot of repetitive foods at the same time, because you got to know what works best for your body. You got to know, one of my previous coaches, again, when he first started with me, he's asking me like, so he told me right now what I'm eating right now, this and that stuff. He's like, is there any reason why I go with white potato or not white rice and stuff? And I was like, not particularly. I mean, it's just more or less what I was putting in my diet and stuff. I knew what it did for my body. And so he switched that over to rice, wanted me on rice and stuff like that. That's one of the things that worked for me and stuff. The rice that really put on the weight for me and stuff like that and everything. It's a lot of white rice. That's
what I stay away from.
Like, the thing is, this would be trainer Dave right here, not bodybuilder Dave. White rice is good for you after your workouts. Just remember that. It's good to refill your body with those carbs, simple carbs, things like that and stuff.
So that I was a diabetic, and just recently I was actually undiagnosed by my doctor because I did so well with dropping my weight and diet and just being routine and consistent with my eating and my working out. So I still kind of have that fear towards carbs, right? Because as a diabetic, that's something that I stood away from, and I'm trying to gradually, like, I'm afraid that if I go back to that, I'm gonna be a diabetic again. But it's just a brain thing for me, and I think a lot of weight loss, it more is mental than it is anything else, right? It's just what you psych yourself up for versus what actually needs to be done and learning. And I think that's why it's important for weight loss, anybody going through their weight loss journey, to really, really educate themselves and learn. Because there's all these fad diets out there that you can choose from, but not everything works for everyone. And at the end of the day, if you want to lose weight, a deficit of calories is always going to have you lose weight. But are you losing it safely And are you losing it where you are not going to get it back if you stop eating in that kind of condition? So, and that's like a whole nother subject that we could get Dave on for to do the whole weight loss and stuff like that. But we want, we want to talk about, so that's your off season. You're eating up to like 6,000 calories, which I can't even imagine eating that. Like, what is that? Like, how many burgers is that? How many bowls of rice? Like, how many cups of rice? Like, what does that look like?
Well, everything is like it's big. It's big, like that. It's a lot of food. And so, for instance, like one of my meals before my workout is 6 to 7 ounces of lean protein, which would usually be chicken, and because a lot of times I do fish in my on season for prep and everything like that. So at that point, I really don't want to have fish right now because I know in my prep it's just going to be an overabundance of fish. It's just going to be there. I still don't want to tire it out like that and stuff, But lean protein. I do something as far as I started out like 200 grams of white rice before my workout, and I had to slowly add it up every few weeks. I'm at like 300 grams of white rice right now, which is like a lot. It's a lot. My rice cooker is always
I don't know
on.
that I could eat that. I don't know that I could sit and eat that. Like, I think I would have to be eating all day just to intake that.
It's one of those things when you eat it, you have to almost like you have to turn off the phone. You have to turn off your, get away from it. Like when I'm at the gym, a lot of times I go over and eat in the kids club when it's closed because I need to get myself away from distractions. So to your previous question beforehand, is bodybuilding 24/7? It really is, because that meal, what I eat that day is going to produce what I need to do in my workouts. It's going to tell me if I'm going to feel like shit during my workouts. Am I feeling strong during my workouts? Am I getting the right nutrition during my workouts? Anything like that. My meals, every meal is important. I don't know if you ever heard, but for anything about bodybuilders or anybody that competes, your three most important meals are breakfast, the meal before, and maybe after. And that's a known phrase throughout the whole bodybuilding community. And it's true, because you need to be prepared to go into that workout. You need to be replenishing the body after your workout, things like that and stuff. I got to the point where my previous coach had me taking in muffins and bagels and things like that. And people are like, that's in your meal plan? It's like, you got to remember, this is cool.
I think I'm gonna bodybuild just so I can fucking eat like that. I swear to God, I'm a bodybuilder. Leave me alone. I got 6,000 calories. Just leave me alone. It's bodybuilder. I have one question, and then I'm bringing somebody special in.
Okay.
So before we do that, Dwayne wants to know what vitamins are good for weight loss.
Well, you definitely want to put in, like, if you're going to be doing a weight loss journey or like tighten up a little bit, you definitely want to have a multivitamin. Multivitamin is good just for overall health, things like that stuff. Especially if you're depleting yourself to a certain point. If you're trying to lose some weight, whether it be 10 pounds or 50 pounds, you need to have those supplements as far as like your vitamins to replenish what you're not getting in some of your food. Because obviously, when you do cut weight, regardless if it's for a show or just for your own personal satisfaction, you need to cut some foods out, certain things, like fruits or cut them down a little bit. I'm not saying take it out totally. It depends on the person. What you got to remember is everything, from vitamin A to Z, you need those things in order for your body to produce certain things like that. So multivitamins are definitely a very key thing for somebody who wants to, cut for weight loss like that stuff. As far as like say all the letter vitamins like B's and C and things like that, it all depends. Like that's more or less for like a doctor to kind of see where you need things like that.
Deficit and everything, they can always do a blood exam, metabolic workup, and then do that. And also, just to note, there's no magic pill for weight loss. It's dedication,
it's hard work,
commitment, consistency, diet, exercise.
Exactly.
That's what it is. So, he said men's one a day. That should work, right? The men's one a day.
Where are you buying? Is that the men's one a day? You getting like Walmart and things like that and stuff? Because let you know a little more about my background. I worked at a vitamin shop, and so the one thing I always tell people, and is it does get, if you get to a certain point, like for instance, when I do my bodybuilding, but just let alone that, just anything as far as like supplements, it does get pricey. It does get, don't think about you have to have everything this is not stuff. But it does get pricey to a certain point. don't cheapen yourself on things. And I'm not trying to put anything out there, but like, in my mind, things like ones you get out, like say Giant or Walmart or things like that stuff. I'm not saying they're not good, but they're not the best quality either and stuff. And people can fight me day and night about that stuff, but don't cheapen yourself out because this is $8 against I work in a vitamin shop. They're really not that more expensive, but you're getting a whole of what you're doing as far as vitamins. So like as far as vitamins, I mean, I think I know what the men's one a day is. I don't know what I kind of think I know what that brand is. But I would definitely suggest going to, and I'm not saying because I work at a vitamin shop, but go to a vitamin store, go to something like that, because you're going to get the best of what you need from there. And you'll have more abundance than just a little section in a grocery store.
Right. And that's why I do go to GNC for my proteins and pre-workouts because they specialize in that. I don't do the Walmart protein shakes and powders and stuff. Like everything that I buy, they don't even sell them in Walmart or anything like that. But I'm bringing somebody into the show, and I'm so excited to have him here. Our very own TJ Spitter.
What's up, TJ?
Oh,
TJ.
It's a cute shirt, Dave.
What's happening? You better think it is.
I like it. How you guys doing?
Good. How you doing, TJ?
Blessings, guys. It's good to see you.
Definitely. Thank you for coming on. So the reason that I have TJ on with us, Mr. Spitter himself, is because Dave has been helping TJ on his weight loss journey. And I thought that it would be an awesome conversation and dialogue for us to just share. Dave has trained me and continues to train me, and now he's training TJ. And I mean, I think I can speak for all of us when I say that he's got us feeling 1,000 times better, TJ.
Absolutely. Like, this is the best I've felt in, I think, my whole life.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest with you.
I appreciate that, man. It means a lot as a trainer because, when you hear something like that and everything, you want to be able to help somebody out. It's not about the money. I told you this before. I told both of you before. It's not about the money. It's about getting you to where you want to be and things like that and stuff. And it takes, not from me, but for you guys, it takes a lot of dedication, not just physically, but mentally to really, I need to change something about my life. I need to do this. I need to do that. So I appreciate all that you just said there, TJ.
Absolutely, brother.
Before we go, and we do have another question from C. He says, what kind of strength training is recommended for women over 40 to build muscle in arms and legs?
Well, I think women in general should be just regardless if it's age in the 20s, 30s, or 40s, even plus 50s, stuff like that. Weight training for women is very important stuff. I mean, you need that muscle to keep the functions as far as your organs, your skeletal system strong, things like that and stuff. So as far as muscles in your arms, any strength training, whatever machines, free weights. I'm a big free weight person. I like doing that. I like doing cables, things like that and stuff. But strength training just in general, it's very essential for both men and women. From your question, from women, it's very important, but for men too. Is if you want to get your muscles defined, if you want to get that body fat off, keeping that muscle on is key to keep the body fat off. And keep the body as far as metabolism. Metabolism. When you have more muscle in your body, less fat, your metabolism is at a better rate and things like that and stuff. So.
And speaking for a woman over 40, I will tell you, so I personally love the free weights, and don't mistake or think that the resistant bands don't do anything, because those bands, as simple and flimsy as they look, are really great in toning up and strength training. But I definitely love the free weights. You also don't have to go really heavy or hard. You don't have to start heavy. You can start really low as far as 5 pounds if you're just beginning. You don't think you automatically have to start lifting 20 pounds. Start with the 5 pounds, whatever you're comfortable with. He says, thank you.
Of course, no problem, no problem.
As Dave will tell you, he'll attest to it, but I'll be like, oh, we're doing side raises, lateral raises, front raises. I'm gonna go get my threes. Hold on a minute. I don't, and I do weights, but there are just sometimes. So don't feel like, if you've never done it before, don't think that you're going to be able to start at 20 when you haven't even started with 2 yet. It's a build up. It's a build up. So just start. And sometimes you can even start without any weights, just getting the movement and getting comfortable with the movement, and then slowly increasing weights. Right or wrong, Dave?
100%. It's all about how you move your muscles. The contraction, the stretch. It's how the quality of rep is, not the quantity. Because a lot of people tend I need to get this and being done. And I work in the gym. I worked in the gym 10 plus years, and the one thing I see all the time is people trying to do this and do that and stuff. And it could be for any reason. They think more reps in, it's going to get them to where it is, and this and that stuff. There's the muscle connection with your brain.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Mel calling bullshit at what you're saying right
now. but as far as the thing like that, like say for instance TJ, I mean TJ started a little lighter with certain things and stuff, and he can tell you yourself, it's like he's like, holy shit. I was like, whoa. It's like I didn't realize this and that stuff, but now at this point where he's at, he's much stronger and things like that. But it's all about the quality of what you're doing, the quality of anything you do in the gym. If you're trying to go for quantity, you're not going to be where you want to be. You might, the thing is, number one thing, you might hurt yourself, you injure yourself, then you stop yourself at your journey with your fitness.
So I know I asked TJ to come on and join in this conversation. So I'm gonna let him throw some surprise questions at you, Dave.
All right.
And I was listening to the whole conversation, and basically, Chrissy, you asked him everything that I wanted to know, right? But I want to know what keeps you inspired today. Like, what keeps you motivated to continually do, like, to work with people, to work on yourself. Like, because I'll tell you like this, like, and Dave, like, every day is not easy. Like, I struggle. Like, sometimes I get to the gym and I'm just like, I don't want to do this. This is not fun for me.
It's exactly what you just said, right? That's what keeps me going. The fact that you know what your goal is, and the fact that you just work your overnight shift and things like that, man, that's what pushes me. Because if you're going to be there after your 8-10 hour shift, it could be a good night, it could be a bad night, things like that, and you're going to come in there and the tangle with me. That's what keeps me inspired.
I'm glad you said tangle with you.
Well, the reason why is because that's what keeps me going. Because I know as far as like what I went through for my own thing, regarding tightening up my body, getting down from 135 all the way to where I am now. Stuff. I know what the work is, regardless what the goals are. I know what it takes mentally and physically, things like that. And so, in order for me to stay motivated, I look at you guys. I always said this. I've said you this before, and I say this to all my clients: is the clients make the trainer. And that's the thing that's said about it. Stuff is, I can't be a great trainer unless my clients are great. And if they're willing to push themselves to where they want to be, they're willing to do the planks, this and that stuff, whatever it may be, doing the things they don't want to do.
We both dropped our head when he said do the planks. We both went.
But you guys, the clients, are what keeps me inspired. That's what pushes me, and like the fact that it's just it's you guys inspired me, which keeps me going, because see, TJ, you would start at what, 344, right?
Yeah.
And where you at now?
311, 310.
That's a huge accomplishment. 10 pounds is a huge accomplishment. And so for you, because 50, close to 50 pounds, that's a lot of weight. It's a lot of weight to.
And that was in no time.
In no time. But then again, that shows me mountain climb. Listen, Mel, next time mountain climbing is gonna be in that.
That's
class.
it. Sunday mountain climbers.
But for you to do that, it's not an easy task. And so for you to get down to where you were, or any of my clients were at this point, regardless if it's just an older person to just to get in better shape, keep moving, things like that stuff, it's tough. I mean, one thing that maybe put in the back of my head is my father was older when he had me and stuff. And I saw my father was born with arthritis and things like that and all that type of stuff. So he himself was never an active. He himself was not an active person because of his health issues, as far as it was arthritis, things like that and stuff. So my dad not pushed me, but he always kind of guided me towards like sports, this and that stuff, push me to do this, push me to do that, because I felt like it was something that he couldn't do. But growing up, I saw him doing physical therapy at the first year I worked at, and the fact that like struggling, just doing simple tasks that I can do, my hand behind my back, it got me to the point like I want to change that for myself, because anything that runs in my family, it runs on both sides, and that might be something that's in back of my head that pushed me a little bit, things like that stuff that I always wanted to better myself, as far as like get away from like the diabetes, get away from the the high blood pressure. It all runs in my family, things like that stuff. That pushes me, but ultimately what keeps me going with training now is my clients. My clients are the clients are the best asset for a trainer, because if they're not pushing and they, you're gonna have your bad days. Like TJ had a bad day one day. He's pushing sled. He told me straight up, he goes, "Dude, I don't want to fucking do this." And a dead ass. He's like, "I don't want to fucking do it." And I said,
I think when we started training again for the first time, it wasn't towards the end of the session that I said "fuck you" and got off got off of the leg lift. Like I was doing leg lifts, and I think I was like done. I was like "fuck you," and I got off of it and walked away. And he was like, "There it goes." He was just waiting for it.
But like that's the things where I don't say I reached your breaking point. I reached a point where I know I can get to that point, and I know you can go back to that, because I know how bad you want your goal. I know how bad you want this and stuff. And we all have our reasons for our goals. We all have our reasons what pushes ours for us for your goals. And it could be for your family, it could be for you. I always tell people is whatever your goals are for what it is, as far as say for fitness, it's always got to be you first. I can tell you're blue in the face and everything. If you don't want it for yourself first, it's not going to be there for anybody else. So TJ, for you is you want it for yourself and everything like that. And what inspires you is your family. You said your son playing, ball, things like that. You're working hard. You got the meal plan, stuff like that. He's strict, and that's what pushes you. And everybody has driving forces of why they want it and stuff.
We can go back to the sled incident, and first and foremost, you already know, like, I apologize for that moment, but like now that's my driving force. Like, cause like when I want to quit, like the other day, we were doing like ropes and deadlifts and a whole bunch of stuff I didn't want to do. And he was like, "You remember that day that you were ready to give up and you didn't?" And like now my progress is much farther than just 3 weeks ago,
Yeah, no, like you said, first off, like anybody trains with me, I've had it 100 times and stuff like that. Like, fuck you, and nah, I ain't fucking doing this shit and stuff like that. I don't take it personally, I don't take it personally, because of the fact that I know what I'm doing to you. I know what I'm doing to you. But as a trainer, if I'm not pushing you to that point where I know you can go, I'm not doing you any favors. I'm not doing something for you. You're not gonna reach that goal of that plateau of that mental part if I don't do that to you, and that mental part is very key for what you want to do.
And I gotta tell you, you're not an asshole about it. So it's not like he's you're not like some trainers can be in your face and kind of do this, and then you're like, what the hell? But and I know for me, I don't want to speak for TJ, but I know you come from a place of genuine care, right? Yeah, you genuinely care about your clients. It's not, I'm here to do a job, you're my client, pay me. It's, I care about you and your goals. There's things that you've given me, tossed into my workout plan that people charge for separately. And you're like, nah, no. Like, no, this is part of your training. Like, I don't know why it's charged separately. So I definitely enjoy that about you. Mel says, I don't think I've ever cursed you out. I'm going to have to give it a try. It makes you feel good and empowered, Mel. No, it's not. He just can't count. He's a cheater, y'all.
I can't count because I choose not to count. Don't give my secrets away, Mel.
Hold on. That's something I noticed too. Time out. He's like, all right, go ahead. Do 15 reps. And I'm going to be counting. And I'm like, 11, 12. He's like, 8, 9. I'm like, yo, that's not how we count.
I'm crying here, but listen. I'll just say this out there. the best trainers are the ones I can't count. I'll just tell you right now. Oh God, that's good.
But another thing too, like something that I've learned from Dave is technique. Like people go to the gym. I would go to the gym and curl and just think I was a monster curling all kinds of weight, and like I was doing it all wrong. Like every exercise I've done up until I met Dave, like wasn't correct. And so now like I see the difference in every muscle that I have, that like the proof is in the pudding. Like Dave is very technical, very knowledgeable, and that's how he gets the results.
Absolutely. So I'll let you jump right in, Dave. That is the one thing for me as well. So, I was training before and I was kind of plateauing and staying there and really didn't see any growth in my muscles or anything like that. And then it's like Dave came in and like a couple of weeks later, I'm like, oh shit, my muscles are forming. I'm starting to see my triceps come in. Like, I don't know if you guys can see it on the screen. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, those were coming in. Like,
everybody gotta relax.
Woo, look at that. Woo! So they're coming in. My freaking quads. Oh my God, them shit came in like nothing. My calves came in like nothing. And it was all technique, and I can even tell you on our Sunday boot camps with Zoom, he can absolutely still see that your technique is incorrect just through the camera. And be like, nope, I need you to bend over a little. Hips a little bit more forward. Nope, that a little bit back. Just with the Zoom.
or when you're trying to cheat on planks, right? Like, when you're trying to cheat on planks and he grabs you and he's like, nah, you got to bring your ass down. But in a more serious note, I've had bad knees forever. And after my surgery, I'm like, I'm never going to be able to run again. I walk with a limp. Like, I'm always favoring the knee. Now there's no limp. And I mean, it hurts every day, but like he's definitely strengthened my legs and my knees and every muscle around them,
Yeah. And like I said, it's the fact that, it's right form, that what you have to do. It's what you know what you're capable of, but what are you capable of the workload? What am I going to do? What's going to strengthen this muscle group or this and that stuff? But the big thing is that you just got to get out there and do it. A lot of people can make the excuses to not come to the gym, and there's so many of them. There's many for you, me. For instance, there's always a reason why I'm not going to do something. But in the end, you got to remember is think about your goal. Think what drives you, this and that stuff. It's inevitable. You always got to put that determination. Motivation's there, but that disappears. Determination, dedication is what keeps you going.
Absolutely.
I was thinking about that while I wasn't in the gym this weekend because we had a family function.
Mm-hmm.
And while I was eating 3 slices of pizza, I was thinking about that. And like, honestly, like, and you've told me several times, like, if you want to cheat, just know that I'm going to kill you the next time I see you in the gym. I cannot wait until tomorrow morning to get back in the gym. Like,
good.
And it's accountability, man. It's like, I know when I go there, you're going to press me until I can't go anymore.
And I'm going to do that and stuff. But again, like I said, I know in a sense of what you're capable of. I know, and you're capable of anything you want. You're capable of anything you want to do because it's what your mind limits you to. You gotta bring your mind to it. Like, the sky's the limit for what I want to do. I want to achieve this. I'm going to achieve this. If I want to do it, I'm going to have it. So if you don't have that drive for yourself, that's what defeats you. Not because of how your body's in shape or where you're at.
How many slices of pizza he said he had?
3.
3.
3.
That's okay. And like I said,
if you better cut the shit.
But yeah, I mean, like you
said. Hold on a second. Chrissy, how many slices of pizza did you have?
As many as I wanted because.
Better question: how many calories is in alcohol?
Oh,
I used diet mix. Stop it.
We just on the show lying. Man, listen, your son threw me a cheesecake bite yesterday, and I caught it in my mouth. That's all I know.
My son told TJ, why don't you take the cheesecake, throw it up in the air, punch me, and then catch it with your mouth? We were waiting for it all to happen. So, what Mel says is that sounds like extra mountain climbers and longer battle rope sessions.
I'm not telling you anything, Mel. You're just gonna find out.
I hate the battle ropes. Oh my God.
You do?
Yes.
I don't mind them.
Okay, wait. I do them at the end of my workout, and Dave literally tries to kill me.
The battle ropes, I don't mind. It's planking that I hate. What else I hate, Dave? Burpees.
You like your legs, but you hate the work for them. But you hate that work.
Hell yeah. Them damn lunges, the farmer walk. Oh, fuck out of here. But
I'm not a fan of the sled either.
I haven't done that.
Especially when your trainer is on the sled and you have to push your trainer up and down.
So what did he say? He was 195 on top of whatever the sledge weighs?
The sled itself is like 70, 80 pounds, something like that.
Oh, he had some plates on there too.
I did 45-pound plates. Oh, yeah.
There's no
mercy on that. No mercy on that. Yeah. The little thing that he didn't know, I don't think he took notice, TJ. I was dragging my hands on the floor a little bit there, too.
So if anybody is a sadomasochist and would like to pay to get themselves beat up, torn up, ripped up, but improved and a much better them,
it's definitely worth it.
Yeah,
it's definitely worth it.
Yes, tire flips are the best.
Like,
did you? Okay.
Mentally, like, I just wanted to touch on mentally too. Like, a lot of people get wound up in their head and deal with anxiety and depression. Like, if I'm in the gym, I release all the negative energy that I have built up inside me. And it's like, it's really a great feeling.
This is your body's best medicine. Exercise is your body's best medicine. I don't care what any doctor can tell you. I mean, a lot of doctors will tell you, that's what they say. They want you to get there and exercise, but they don't stress that, I mean, I'm not saying every doctor in the world, but there's a lot of doctors, they don't push that because they know that's the key to everything.
I gotta say, I have a phenomenal doctor. She is amazing, and that she definitely did push that with me when she started to see the trend of my blood sugars decreasing yearly. She definitely did. So there are some doctors out there who do, and then there's others who just want to push the pills.
It is.
But Emma says the gym is the best stress reliever. Absolutely. Yes. I haven't been back to the gym, like the gym itself. Like I have the gym in the house, but I haven't been back to the physical gym since COVID, and with everything reopening. Only because it's a little bit of a drive for me and I don't want to get there and then be told that they're at max capacity already. So I kind of just been staying home. I do eventually want to get back there because there are some equipment that I don't have at home that I would like to use there. But I'll tell you, it's a zone. You zone out. You go into this whole other place and you're mentally, I feel like, so for me, I'm a competitor by nature. And when I'm in the gym and not at home, I think I go harder. And the reason why I go harder is because I'm competing with the people in the gym and they don't even know it. Right? Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm like, wait, how fast is he going? 6.7? I'm going to go 6.5. I mean, 6.9. Wait, what is she doing? How long did she do the elliptical for? 10 minutes? I'm going 15, and I'm just sitting there and I'm competing, but it's making me a better me. And I'm not angry or upset with them or in competition with them because I'm jealous of them. I'm in competition with them because I know that it's going to push me to be a better me.
Definitely.
I'm in competition with myself.
Jackie asked a great question. How do you know if you have a good trainer if you can't get Dave, that is?
Well, let me just say this. You have a good trainer if, first off, he's close up. The one thing, I'm a very hands-on person as a trainer, I'm not one of the trainers that's going to stand there and just look at you like this and go like this, like flip over this way and stuff. You got to have a hands-on trainer. If they're not sitting there correcting you and stuff like that, and like I said, there's a lot. I've had some clients where I correct them 10, 15, 20, 25 times during the whole session. Form, to me, any trainer should be the fact that if form is not one of those top 2 things, if not top 1 in what they're doing, and there's something to think about and stuff. You got to be able to let that trainer assess. I'm hands-on, like I said, like TJ said, serious remark about the planks. If I'm not pushing down a little bit, shifting your body up a little bit like that and stuff, if your trainer's not doing that and he's letting you do that form and it's not feeling right, you're not getting it, it's time to think about getting another trainer, because form is definitely one of those things you need to get on there and stuff, and very attentive. Like that phone, if the trainer is not yep, there you go. See, I was just going to go into that. If they're on the phone, this and that and stuff like that, it's time to get a new trainer, because obviously that trainer's attention is not on you 100%. And that's the thing about it and stuff. And there's a lot of them out there. Me being a fitness director at Max, it's very, you can see who the trainers you want to have, this and that stuff, and they could be a very nice person. They could be, a very down to earth person, but if they're doing their job, like I take my job very seriously as a trainer. And so if I don't see, I guess I want to say, if I don't see that I don't see myself like that in the person I would want in my gym, to me, that's not a good trainer. I know I'm not trying to bash any of the trainers out there and stuff like that, but
no, but we need
to be on your game.
Yeah, we need these key points. So basically the takeaway from this is to make sure that they're correcting your form every time and all the time, not
and
just
one. And their attention's on you. And you are their world for that 45 to an hour. If you're not their world in that time, and boot.
So there you have it. But then if you could get Dave, then we won't have those issues. There's no issues with that.
Man. He definitely gets my cosign. I tell everybody. Get Dave.
Do you have any other questions for Dave, TJ?
No, I just want to say that I appreciate the fact that you push me every day, even when we don't have sessions. You reach out, or you always make sure, like, when we don't have sessions and I'm at the gym, you check on me to see what I'm doing to make sure I'm doing it correctly, and I appreciate you for that.
Of course, and I appreciate you coming. I appreciate you coming and pushing yourself to the days you're not there with me. Like I said, it's very easy to say I had a long day at work, I'm staying home. There's some things, obviously you've got some family things going on, this and that, so whatever it may be, there's some things, but I know that deep down you want your goal and stuff like that. So for you to come in and not do it there when I'm not there, so it shows that how serious you are for it. So again, like I said, that shows me that you're true to what you want, and makes me a better trainer because of that.
So I do have one parting question, and that is, do you have any competitions coming up?
I do. I am gunning for Arnold Amateur Sports Fest in March, which is the first weekend in March. It's one of the biggest sports fests in the world, things like that and stuff. I was gunning for that last year, but obviously with the whole pandemic, and I got canceled with it. That's honestly probably not just in the bodybuilding world, but probably one of the things that started off the whole canceling of everything. So this, when I heard that, because I wanted to go to that and enjoy the sports fest too at the same time, but obviously I want to do that. So I was going for next month, which is going to be the Miami Nationals in Florida, but like I said, sometimes you lose focus or certain things like that, and I had to just do a couple things for myself. So I decided to push back and go back to where I want to start, and go back to that Arnold Sports Fest. That's why I wanted to hit. So we're gonna go for that in March.
Amazing. And so my takeaway from that is, you can have a plan, and sometimes the plan doesn't pan out exactly how you want it, but it doesn't mean that you stop trying to reach your goal. Yes. The plan just changes. That's it. That's it. And I think that's encompassing of everything when it comes to health and fitness. I know we did a little bit of the bodybuilding in the beginning, but like I said, I wanted to have TJ on so that we could have this dialogue. I thought it would be great, and it ended up being great. Like I thought, you see, who's a genius? But anyway, but I definitely, before we go, is there any last bit of information or any advice that you want to give the viewers, whether it's weight loss, bodybuilding, or anything, just something you think is important that you want to share and shed your knowledge on them?
Get up and do it. Don't think twice about it. The one thing you got to worry is, like, again, I'll say this to anybody and stuff. It doesn't matter, again, if it's bodybuilding, matters, fitness, gaining muscle, losing weight, whatever it may be and stuff. You just make up your mind, just do it. Even if you don't make up your mind, get off your ass, wherever it may be. If it's that work, doing this, just being lazy, do something. Go out for a walk, make something. Because the more you do, the more you see those results. And it could be very little. You could be a half a pound. I don't care what it is. The more you're going to drive towards like that. But you gotta get up and do it. You can't think twice about it. You can't think about how people are going to think about you, this and that stuff. It doesn't matter. It's like I said, me personally, when I went to the gym, my dad, again, not pushed me into the gym, but got me into the gym to start doing it. I was one of those people. I was like 135 pounds. I looked at everybody here lifting weights, doing the machines, free weights, all that stuff. It's intimidating. It is. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. Your goal is you. The goal is whatever you want it to be. And if you get that in your head and don't worry about things like that, the good things are going to come from it. So definitely just, don't think twice about it. Just do it. You know what I mean? It'll pay off in the end.
So guys, again, if you're looking for Dave, he is at IG trainer_Dave15. You can also always DM me for more information for those boot camps on Sunday morning, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm telling you, they're kick-ass. You don't have to have any special equipment at home. You can use bags of rice, gallons of milk, gallons of water, whatever it is, whatever you have within your vicinity. Again, make sure you follow, subscribe, like IG and Facebook at Chrissy.Cipher. Like I said, every show is going to be a little bit different. One show may not be to your liking, but I can guarantee you there will be one that piques your interest and attention. So make sure you follow and like so that you can receive all the content. Again, make sure you go to YouTube, 2M1L Media, so you will find me, Cipher Knowledge with Chrissy, 8 p.m. Sunday. You will find Mr. Spitter down there Wednesdays at noon, Spitting with Spitter. And then we have Around the Turnbuckle on Saturdays and Sundays at 6 p.m. These are all Eastern Standard Times. So also make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell so you can get notifications when we go live. And my parting bit of advice, as I always leave the show tonight, is if all you've experienced is all you know, then you are in a deficit of knowledge. So thank you so much for joining in the Cipher tonight. Thank you, Dave, for being a part of this show and providing information and knowledge to the viewers here. Be on the lookout. Hopefully people are going to be dinging you on your IG. So thank you for sharing your experience and sharing your knowledge, so that we can all grow a little bit wiser and smarter day in and day out. And on that note, everybody, one love.